it's still the largest set of experiments ever conducted in social science. So if you look at the history of management thought, it's one of the landmarks along the way in that history. Arguably, it's the most important study in management because it brings things like informal organisation, group dynamics, leadership structures all into play. That's why I'm interested, and I just love the history of these old plants. You know? I still think they're fascinating. I have a sort of different take on it. I mean, I think the Hawthorne studies are important. I mean, if you look at a lot of the best-selling books on management, if you take one of the biggest selling ever, which is Tom Peters and Bob Waterman's In Search of Excellence, right at the start of that book they talk about In Search of Motivation, and it's really a sort of Hawthorne analysis, you know, human relations type analysis that comes about. I take a different view, because in the history of management, I think the orthodox history is you get scientific management that gives way to human relations, which gives way to modern forms of neo-human relations. I have a slightly different take on that history, that they don't separate out as neatly as that. I think the orthodox view of the Hawthorne investigations is that you've got an old-fashioned plant, an anonymous plant, you know, that is just a representative sample. Along comes a famous behavioural scientist from Harvard, a guy called George Elton Mayo, and he and his team completely changed the management style of that organisation. My argument is that in many ways an enlightened form of management was already in place at that organisation. Elton Mayo didn't turn the tide of leadership, management and organisation at the Hawthorne Works. He swam with it, and he profited greatly from doing so. And I think MBA programs, undergraduate programs, you know, professionalise people. They bring social science to the practical domain and help with leadership and group working and organisational structuring, things like that. Yeah. I would say is that it's probably quite controversial because it starts to question the whole orthodox history of management theory. My take is very, very different. The textbooks say that Elton Mayo brings enlightenment to management theory. My historical study is that when you look wider than the organisation, wider than the Hawthorne plant, you find that there are a lot of seeds of that enlightenment in welfare organisations, in welfare capitalism, that preceded Elton Mayo and that are not acknowledged in these very neat little chronological histories. Yeah.